Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to look at a fascinating and maybe even challenging way to navigate some of life's biggest questions, all through the lens of a wise master. So let's just dive in.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Should a good friend always agree with you? Think about it for a second. We've all had both kinds of friends, haven't we? The one who's a total yes man and the one who challenges you on, well, pretty much everything. So which one is the real friend? It's a tough one for sure, but what if the problem isn't the answer we come up with? What if the problem is the question itself?
See, the philosophy we're exploring today suggests that the biggest insights in life don't come from finding the right answers. They come from reframing the questions. It's all about making a fundamental shift in perspective.
And to really understand how this master sees the world, we've got to start with his one single core principle. Seriously, it's the key that unlocks everything else. Simple, right? Just 4 little words. But don't let that fool you. This one idea is the foundation for an entire worldview. What the master is saying is that to understand anything out there in the external world, you first have to look inside. And here's the breakdown of what that means. Nothing external is inherently good or bad. Not money, not technology, not even a friend's criticism. It's all neutral. Its value, whether it leads to a good outcome or a bad one, is decided entirely by the intention, the heart of the person using it.
And this is where it gets really practical. Take money. It's just paper, right? Or numbers on a screen. In the hands of someone with a generous heart, it becomes a powerful tool for good. But with a greedy heart, a tool for harm. It's the same thing with technology or even the words we speak. The object itself is just a mirror. All it does is reflect the user's real intention.
So, with that core principle locked in, let's circle all the way back to our first question. You know, the one about friendship. Because now we can apply the master's lens and see the whole thing in a completely different light.
From this point of view, that friend who just agrees with everything, maybe their real intention is just their own comfort, not your well-being. They'll cheer you on even if you're about to walk off a cliff. But a true friend, their intention is for you to actually improve. They'll risk making you uncomfortable for a moment to point out a mistake, to guide you based on what's right. So what matters isn't the agreement, it's the intention behind it all.
Now, this idea doesn't just stop with relationships. The exact same principle applies to 2 of the most powerful and, let's be honest, debated tools in our lives: money and technology.
The master is really clear on this. We argue constantly, is money the root of all evil? Is it the source of happiness? He would say it's neither. Money is just an amplifier. It just makes you more of what you already are deep down.
Here's how that looks in the real world. Your intention is compassion. So, you see someone in need and you use your money to help them. In that action, that money becomes a vehicle for good and it actually strengthens your own character.
But now look at the flip side. It's the exact same amount of money. The only thing that's changed is the intention. Here, it's used for self-destruction. And that same neutral tool becomes a weapon that ruins everything. And what's really fascinating is that the master says the exact same logic applies perfectly to technology.
You know, if your intention is to truly connect with people, technology is an amazing gift. You can send a quick message to a friend halfway across the world, and it strengthens that bond. It makes positive social connections easier than ever.
But with a different intention, say one of escape or addiction, that very same phone in your hand becomes a force for isolation. It can pull you away from your family, your job, your real life. Again, it's never the tool. It's always the user. Okay, so we've looked at friends, money, and tech. It all seems to make sense. But now we come to the most radical, the most counterintuitive idea in this entire philosophy. And it's all about competition. Wow, just let that sink in for a moment. In a world that is built on competition, in school, in sports, in business, that is a shocking thing to hear. It goes against pretty much everything we're taught to believe. But the logic, you guessed it, circles right back to that core principle. You have to ask, what is the intention at the root of competition? It's not just, I want to do my best. It's, I want to win, which inherently means you want someone else to lose. The master argues that this mindset, this intention that requires others to fail for you to succeed, is fundamentally antisocial. It goes against a basic ethic of caring for other people. And he uses some powerful examples. I mean, think about it. Was Isaac Newton competing with anyone? Was Albert Einstein trying to beat someone to his theories?
Are the people building the most advanced AI today doing it just to win a race? No. They're trying to discover something, to create something new. True progress isn't born from a desire to see someone else fail.
So the final verdict is this. The world's progress is driven by creators, people who are focused on building something new. Competitors, on the other hand, are focused on tearing others down. In this worldview, that competitive spirit doesn't actually build anything. It just creates problems.
And that brings us right back to where we began. From friends who challenge us, to the money in our bank accounts, to the entire idea of winning and losing, it all points back to that one single principle. This is the ultimate takeaway. We spend so much time debating if things in the world are good or bad, but this lens reframes that whole debate. It says the power, the responsibility, the moral choice, it's not in the stuff around us, it's inside of us. The root isn't out there. The root is your heart. The root is your intention.
And that's the final thought this explainer leaves us with. If the world is just a reflection of our collective intentions, then the most important question isn't, what is the world going to give me? It's what am I going to choose to create? So, what will you choose?